Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your horoscope for October 2024. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm in the UK, so my horoscopes are based on the UK time zone. And please watch them in this order: rising sign first, then sun sign, and finally your moon sign. So I'm going to break the month of October down into 4 weeks. And I'm going to pay particular attention to what the moon is doing, how it moves through your chart, and on what days, and how that supports you at different times here in October. Starting with week 1, Tuesday the 1st to Sunday the 6th of October. On the 1st, we have the moon in Virgo, and it's in your 10th house of career. So on the 1st, there's going to be the ability to do excellent work, but also to understand your job very well, and what you can do to improve it, or to improve your own work, or to improve the standing in your company, or the size of your own business. It's really a good day to create meaning and understanding when it comes to your own work. On the 2nd and the 3rd, the moon moves into Libra, but on the 2nd, we have a new moon in Libra that's also a solar eclipse. So I've made a separate video on that. I've gone into a lot of details, so please check that out. But for you guys, Sagittarius, that eclipse happens in your 11th house of hopes and dreams, and it's next to the South Node, the transiting midheaven, Black Moon Lilith, Mercury, Juno, all in Libra. So for you, this is amazing because it really connects you with your ideal future. So please spend a little bit of time on the 2nd particularly, but also on the 3rd, to just kind of imagine your best life and what it could look like. Because you're going to get so much information that it's almost like a vision board is being given to you. And if you haven't felt particularly motivated, or you haven't been very specific in terms of what you want to create moving forward, then the 2nd and 3rd are going to be crucial in delivering that to you. On the 4th, 5th, and 6th of October, we've got the moon then going into Scorpio, next to Venus in Scorpio, and they're both in your 12th house of spirituality and spiritual strength. So you may feel that you're being, something about you is being revealed, something hidden, or that you have some sort of major spiritual experience where you never felt particularly connected, or you couldn't hear the voice of who you were praying to or meditating with. You may find that via your feelings, your intuition, that really is heightened, and that you get this really loving sense of well-being, but also guidance for your hopes and dreams, that they could come true. And it's really like giving you a boost, and it's encouraging you to say, hey, I can live my best life. And even if no one else around me sees my talents or can see me doing this, I can, and therefore I'm going to do it. So Sagittarius, I really love this first week of October for you, because it's like you're getting your confidence back. And yes, anything is possible, and I'm going to make it happen. So during this first week then, the moon covers your 10th house, your 11th, and your 12th, and that's quadrant 4, right? The 10th house is work and career, the 11th is hopes and dreams, and the 12th is spirituality and spiritual strength. So you are really being given a message of the ideal job, the way your ideal life could look like, the way your career could look like. And you're given the opportunity in this first week to see a version of yourself that's transcended your current self. And then the choice of whether you want to move towards that or keep things as they are. Week 2, Monday to Sunday, 7th to 13th of October. On the 7th and 8th, we have the moon in Sagittarius, in your sign, and it's in your first house of self, next to the transiting ascendant and Pallas, both in Sagittarius. So there's a real sense of, I've got my mojo back, I've got real wisdom here, I know what I want to move towards, and I know I'm being my authentic self. So just no self-doubt, questioning yourself. I really think the first week is like an enlightenment almost, an understanding of who I am and where I want to go. And now the second week, the first 2 days, is I'm actually doing it. I'm going to now take the action steps to make the changes that I want, and I've got all my power so I can create. Then the moon moves into Capricorn on the 9th and 10th, and those are the best 2 days of the month for you to actually do the legwork, the heavy lifting. So if you've had some dream to become an artist, it's now actually starting to do that and renting the studio. If it's the desire to you know, have a family, whereas before you never were interested, then it's okay, I'm going to put myself on the dating scene and get that whole process going. The moon in Capricorn is willing to do the work. And also the second and no, the ninth and 10th in this second week, if you do any work, like if you, you know, if you like go to a fair, like an expo or something, and you sell goods on on a table or something, if they fall on the ninth and 10th, you're likely to also make good money on those days. It really supports you in that area. On the 9th of October, Jupiter retrogrades until the 4th of February 2025. So Jupiter is the planet of good luck and good fortune. And with outer planets, it's not as relevant whether they retrograde, because the personal planets, Mercury, Mars, Venus, when they retrograde, they have a very strong personal effect on you, right? But the outer planets stay in retrograde for about 6 months. I feel that when they are retrograde, the energy is expressed inward, like within you, and when they're direct, it's outwardly. So Jupiter is now supporting you in your 7th house of relationships in Gemini, and it means that while it's in there, and certainly October, you're going to have a great time when it comes to romantic relationships. And you'll get good hits about who you can trust and who you can't trust, and all the red flags are going to be noticed, and you'll see the green flags. So any Sagittarius who's looking for a partner, this is really good news for you here in October. On the 10th of October, the moon, it's in its second quarter. So it's waxing, it's halfway between a new moon, working its way towards a full moon. And again, that's in Capricorn in your second house. So that looks like a windfall for you, Sag, in terms of money, but also being able to get a lot done and being super, super productive. The moon then goes into Aquarius on the 11th of October and stays there until the 12th. And that's in your third house of communication and perspective. So these are the 2 days where it's really easy for you to be teachable, to learn, to study, to discover information that you weren't privy to before, and to expand your horizons hugely. So if there's any lecture or event or a public presentation or a book you've wanted to read, the 11th and 12th are great. You're just going to absorb the info like a sponge. Also on the 11th, Pluto goes direct. It enters Aquarius again on the 19th of November. I made a separate video on Pluto and Aquarius. It's really important as far as I'm concerned. It's been in Capricorn since 2008. It went into Aquarius in January this year. Have a look at the video. And I go into all this stuff that it wasn't a good fit in Capricorn. It made it quite difficult. Now in Aquarius, it's about the birth of new ideas. And it's going to stay there pretty much for 20 years. This is the only time when it retrogrades back into Capricorn, September, October, until the 19th of November. And it's in your case, it's in your second house of money and physical belongings. So Sagittarius, anything you want to let go of in that sense, like a yard sale for junk you no longer need, or you want to sell the house, or certain structures in your life that are like part of the furniture almost that you want to get rid of, the retrograde helps you to get rid of anything like that. But it also helps you to let go of a job that underpays you. And to say, do you know what, I'm going to look for something better because this is just not good enough. It's that certainty of it's not growing, it's unwinding. And anything that's on a downward slope, you're able to let go of that much easier. On the 13th of October, we have the moon going into Pisces. And that's in your 4th house. So this is a great day for family and just chilling and spending a good time in the company of others and really building each other up and enjoying yourself. It's fabulous. On the 13th as well, Mercury, the communication planet, ingresses into Scorpio in your 12th house, where Venus is also in Scorpio in your 12th house. So you may get quite intense messages from your higher self that are very much about how you can change your physical life, income, living situation. So if you're not particularly spiritual or you don't trust your intuition, really like have more patience with it this month, because you're going to get messages from the ethers that allow you to upgrade your actual physical present life on earth, like your job, your housing situation, all of that stuff. Okay, so let's see what houses the moon covered in week 2. So it went from your 1st house to your 4th. And that's pretty much quadrant 1, 2, 3, except the fourth house is power quadrant 2. So the first quadrant is that, how do I see the world and how do I make a contribution? How do I pay my bills? And what impact does that have on my family? And I think you're going to be questioning here in week 2 the very foundations of your life and see if you can upgrade them. I don't think you're going to be particularly attached to things that you don't really want anymore. Because sometimes it's hard to let go, but not here in the second week of October. I think you're far more willing to let go of things than you usually would be. Week 3, Monday to Sunday, 14th to 20th of October. We've still got the moon in Pisces on the 14th and 15th. It's still in your fourth house of family, so that harmony and unity vibe continues. On the 16th and 17th, the moon goes into Aries, and it goes into your fifth house of what you love, in terms of relationships, romantic partners, children, but also what you love to do. And it's next to the North Node, which is the direction you're going on in a soul level, and Chiron, the wounded healer. So this is really, I think, the most important 2 days of the month so far, 16th and 7th, because you're going to be very uncompromising and saying, this is what I love to do. I've created this space now earlier in the month, and I want to devote myself to realizing my hopes and dreams and working towards them. So if you want to start a side gig, and the side gig being your dream job, please do this during this month, but the 16th and 17th in particular. The 17th, we have a full moon in Aries, so all of that Aries energy you're going to be receiving, the moon lets go of it. So if you've really wanted to build something of your own, if you wanted to make a change, have more independence and freedom in your life, the 17th and the 16th are the days to do it. Also on the 17th, Venus, the planet of love and beauty, that ingresses into Sagittarius, into your sign, in your first house. So a return of the love for the adventure. Winging it, relying on your good luck, saying, I want to explore something new and fun, and I want to go on a mission. So while Venus is in Sag in that first house for a long time, anything that is new and exciting and places you haven't been to before, from the 18th onwards, please give yourself as much time to do that because you'll get so much energy from it. It's going to really inspire you. On the 18th and 19th, the moon then moves into Taurus in your sixth house. So that's good for work, getting things done, really being productive and getting a lot of errands sorted, work completed, putting the finishing touches on things. So if you can devote yourself to work on those 2 days, ideal. Also, if you want to make changes in your body, change your diet, or you want to have like a cosmetic procedure, great time here, the 18th and 19th of October. And then finally on the 20th of October, we've got the moon in Gemini next to Jupiter in Gemini. That again is fabulous for romantic relationships. New romantic relationships, if you're already in a relationship, it's a great day to spend with your loved one. You'll have a fab time. So in this third week, the moon moved over houses 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that pretty much is quadrant 2. So what is it that I love both in work and in people? And how can I build that into my life so I have more of it? So very constructive thinking here. Finally, week 4, Monday to Wednesday, 21st to 31st of October. So this is 10 days, not a week. 21st, we have the moon in Gemini. Still good for romantic relationships, finding who you want. And then it goes into Cancer on the 22nd and the 23rd of October. And that's in your 8th house of connections with big institutions, inheritances, the governments, the tax people. And I think there may be some frustration in those areas. I think you may get some news there, a letter that you weren't expecting or looking forward to. The key thing is not to get frustrated about it, but to deal with it immediately. Don't put it off. And either get in touch or resolve the issue. It can be resolved very quickly, but the key thing isn't to just sit on it and have it make you feel uncomfortable or anxious. On the 22nd as well, we have the sun going into Scorpio, and that goes into your 12th house of spirituality. So again, this month of Scorpio, it's really about you getting very intense messages via your higher self that relate to what you could do in your working life and how you could create an income and how you can free yourself from situations that make you feel trapped at other times. The 24th, the moon is in its fourth quarter, so it's waning towards becoming a new moon. But on the 24th and 25th, it's in Leo in your 9th house. And those are the best days of the month for you to travel, to study, to discover something new and exciting and unfamiliar, to expand, to exit your comfort zone. You'll have a great time. And again, it's very energizing. The sun goes, not the sun, the moon then goes into Virgo on the 26th, 27th, and 28th. And that's in your 10th house of work. And really, again, you can do the best work of the month on those 3 days. Anything that requires problem solving, using your particular skills and expertise, it'll happen really easily. Things are super straightforward. And finally, on the 29th, 30th, and 31st of October, the moon is in Libra again in your 11th house of hopes and dreams. So hopes and dreams, what could be, and also friendships and informal relationships. So particularly on Halloween, I think it's a good idea for you to get amongst the people or to do some sort of, to attend some sort of social event or function, because that sense of connection will give you this optimism that, yes, my hopes and dreams can come true. But being isolated in those last 3 days of October could be a little depressing and could really kind of dampen the flame, the enthusiasm for all these great things that are coming. So try and do something sociable at the end of the month. Let's see, the houses that were covered in this last week are seventh, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Okay, so that's pretty much the top half of the chart. The top half of the chart is the public, the bottom half is the domestic, right? So the last 10 days of October are really about you getting out there and creating relationships and connections with businesses and learning and work and making your hopes and dreams for your own life come true via all of this activity. So the last 10 days particularly, you can have real successes like signing contracts and having a relationship with a new colleague or employer working on a particular project. It's really about putting yourself out there to receive in return. So I hope that gives you an idea of what you'll be working with here in October. I hope you have a wonderful time. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. And to draw up your birth chart, I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, that's not a problem. Just order a chart rectification with me. It's a process where I work it out. Check out some of my other videos. I do videos on the new moons, full moons, eclipses, and I also do a daily tarot reading on this channel, so please become a member to watch those. I hope you have a wonderful October, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best.